So happy you're here. In this video, we're going to be drawing kind of a realistic dragon that has a lot of details. We'll do 4 legs and some wings for it. And to begin our dragon, we're going to start with a little circle for a head, and then we'll draw basically kind of a snake body. And so we'll just do our dragon standing for this one. And so we'll do the neck, and then you can curve your tail kind of however you have room on your paper. And then we'll do another line kind of going with it. So I'm going to do it kind of skinny over here, and this is where the body will be. So we'll do it a little bit fatter over here, and then for the tail, you can make it as skinny or as long or as short as you feel like it. And so now we kind of have our basic dragon going. To begin with the legs, we'll start with those first, and what we'll do is we'll add a bump over here, bump over here. So this is where our neck is going to be going. And then for here, let's say he's standing right here on the ground. And so I'll do kind of 2 lines going this way, 2 lines going this way, getting a little bit maybe skinnier towards the bottom. If you wanted to add a horn over here, you could. And then from here, we'll go do kind of 1, 2, and 3. And these will be his claws. If you wanted to, you could make them. You could make 1 behind over here too. But I'm just going to do 3 going this way. And then from here, we'll draw a claw at the end of each one. So 1, 2, 3. And then from here, I'll do a little curve and then bring that up to the bottom of the foot, and then add that to each side over here. And then if you wanted to add a little back claw over here, you could just add a bump with the claw over there. And then we're going to do that same for the other hand. Let's say, so we could do the same thing over here like this, but what we could also do is if we wanted to have the hand up, so let's move it up this way, for example. And maybe there's still that horn over there. And then I'm kind of figuring, make it about same size as this one. So I'll do 1, 2, 3, like that. Curve that up over there. And then I'm going to add my claws over there. And then that little back claw just folds inside over there. So there's my front hands. And then for my back legs, bring this up over here. We'll draw kind of a letter J or a curved line, and then go a little bit maybe further back, and then kind of go with that, and then bring it down. And then for here, kind of go even with the ground. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to add my claws over there, and then bring all those up, and then add a claw over there too, like that. And then I'll do the other back leg to kind of go with this back leg. So we'll go 1, 2, and then since this is kind of pulling this way, I'm going to do my third one back behind over there. And add my claws. And there we go. And then let's add our wings, and we can make them either out. So for the wings, I kind of think about what bat wings look like. So the wing kind of attaches right here. So we'll go up, and then let's put the wing. The wing, this part of the wing could go, down wherever you wanted. Let's go over here. And then I'm going to draw kind of another line. So this is kind of where all the muscle is going to be. And then do 2 more over here, and they're going to be kind of shorter maybe than the first one. And then drawing kind of lines. I'm just trying to not cover this up, but you could put your wing, so that it covers your tail too if you wanted to. And then the last curve goes down there. And then if you wanted to, you could add claws at the end over here. And then we'll draw another one, and then I'm going to imagine that this goes right here, and then add, so that goes just behind my character right there. I'll erase some of these lines over here so it's easier to see where we're going. There we go. Okay, now let's work on our face. So obviously dragons are, they're imaginary creatures, so you can give them, the horns can be going any which way. The horns could, you know, it could have one horn that goes up, it could have a horn that goes down, you know, the horns could be going this way, the horns could be corkscrew looking, the horns can go whichever way you want. And so it's kind of up to you however you want them to go. I usually like to have maybe one big horn, and then maybe there's several kind of smaller horns, and you kind of just go with this line right here. And then for the face, you can make it as big or little as you want. So usually I kind of go down. And then if you wanted to do a closed mouth, then I would go from here and kind of bring these down towards a point. And a lot of times I like to add a little kind of a nub at the top over there and then bring it down into a beak. And then the mouth would go down. You can make it curvy, you can make it straight, however you want. And if you want your dragon to look friendly, you can end in a curve going up. If you want your dragon to be more kind of mean looking, your mouth of your dragon can go down. And if you wanted to make the mouth open, you could go from here, and instead of, after you draw the top one, I usually just make the top of or the bottom a little bit shorter than my top. And so let's keep with the line we have over here. And then we could do something like that. Let's see. There we go. And they usually have this kind of flap of skin right there. And even if you wanted to add a tongue could come out however you want from there. And then you can add as little or as much teeth in there if you want. It's up to you. And then for the eye, maybe we'll do little horns over there too. Then for the eye, if you wanted the eye to be friendly, you can make it more open and angle it like this. If you wanted your eye to look more kind of angry and more mean, then I would start with it going kind of parallel over here or even down, and then angle the eye like that. So either way you want to do it, you can do it. I'll make mine look a little bit friendlier, and then you can add a pupil over there and then color that in a little bit. Then for the nose, I just usually like to do kind of a little bit of a horse nose looking nose over there. And then after that, you could add some spikes to the top. And then after you've got your sketch done, then you can take a marker, or you can take erase some of your pencil lines and then draw everything with your proper lines on the top. Or you could even trace through a window if you wanted to do your nice drawing on a completely different substrate. And then you can add a lot more details as you're drawing it. So we'll start from here, do the neck. And then if you wanted to add some scales, you could add some scales. A lot of times they'll have this kind of belly area will have those kinds of loops, so you could delineate maybe with a thinner pencil or a pen. And then if you wanted to add scales, you could add scales in some places. You wouldn't have to do them everywhere. There we go. And there we have a dragon. And now our dragon is ready to be colored. If you wanted to take your eraser and erase any more of your pencil lines so that they're not in your way when you color, you could do that. Or otherwise, if you just wanted to have a black and white drawing, then you are all done. And if you wanted to try a simpler dragon, check out my next upcoming drawing tutorial.